This is an incredibly dark story, so just warning you right now. A Ukrainian OnlyFans model named Maria Kovalchuk, at 20 years old, was left for dead roadside in Dubai after being invited to a sketchy party by unknown people claiming to be in the modeling business. So the whole story, just from the outset, is extremely suspicious. It reeks of police corruption, actually, and also fuels theories about what people call the Dubai porta potties, which is essentially referring to vile, disgusting, sadistic orgies that allegedly take place in Dubai and other countries among rich elites who pay escorts to basically engage in the most degrading sex acts you can possibly imagine, with animals, children, feces, urine, blood. I mean, you name it. That's what they're referring to when they refer to a Dubai porta potty gathering.
It's not called a porta party?
No. Because, if you're defecating on someone, you're referring to the escort as the porta potty. But let's get into the details, because it gets so weird. I am convinced, personally, that the Dubai police are lying through their teeth about what happened, because, I'll preface, in Dubai, if you are not an Emirati, you are a second-class citizen. You're not even a second-class citizen. Scratch that. You're not even a person, really. If you want to be, if the authorities in Dubai, want to disappear you, they have no problem doing so. And they will just not abide by any sort of human rights laws. Mm-hmm. You do not exist to them if you are a foreign national. Yeah. We'll get into the more of that in a second. So a Ukrainian OnlyFans model was found dumped by the side of the road in Dubai with horrific injuries, and she is expected to survive this. She is 20 years old. She went missing for 8 days after telling her friends that she had been invited to a party at a hotel on March 9th. On March 19th, 10 days after her disappearance, she was found battered and bloodied. She had all of her limbs broken and her spine broken. And she was dumped roadside in this condition. She was rushed to the hospital. She has now received 4 surgeries to save her life, and she is expected to recover and survive from this somehow. But she is currently not able to speak, and her mother is speaking on her behalf. She flew into Dubai to be with her during this time. She said she is getting medical treatment and everything will be all right. Here's where it gets weird. Dubai police confirmed that this Ukrainian citizen, previously reported missing, is currently hospitalized, receiving medical care with family present. A comprehensive investigation has revealed that she sustained serious injuries after entering a restricted construction site alone and falling from a height.
Completely normal. Happens every day.
So she just wandered onto a crane that was in the middle of building a skyscraper, and she just came tumbling down from the air. Really? Really? You expect me to believe that? Okay, in that case, if we're to believe that story, how on earth did she end up incapacitated in a construction site? Unattended.
Going to have a future in architecture.
Misdemeanors like that can actually get you locked up for life if you do them in a place like Dubai. So a Russian news outlet reported that the model's family had disputed the police account, and they believe the information about her fall from a construction site is fake. I do too. Contacted separately on this claim, the OnlyFans model's mother has said she can't comment because of the investigation. Another Russian outlet said that Maria had been incomprehensible and in hysterics before her disappearance. At the time, she was set to attend a party with 2 men who introduced themselves as representatives of the modeling business. She had told her mother she'd be staying with them for the night, but subsequently vanished and did not catch a flight that she had booked 2 days prior to leave Dubai, which is when she was reported missing, when she didn't show up for her flight the next couple days from then. They got another comment from her mom. There is an assumption that she went to a party, but the promoter who organized that party did not see her there. She was eventually found in the hospital in serious condition. No documents, no phone, nothing. She cannot speak. Underwent 4 operations now. And yeah, that's the only information we have on this.
Yeah.
Super sketchy.
If you're the mom and she says, I'm staying with these 2 guys in the modeling industry, just alarm bells.
Obviously.
Like,
I mean, if it's alarm bells when she started in OnlyFans, but
I'm trying to...
clearly it's not her top priority.
The alarm bells should have alarm bells in this case.
Yeah. Like, the modeling business in general, some people say it's an open secret that it's a front for escorting and prostitution and sex trafficking. But especially when you're talking about a place like Dubai or, even other countries like Korea. I mean, talent and these on-camera people, models, actors, whatever, they are not really seen as human. And if you are in Dubai as a foreign national, you are not seen as an equal. You are not going to be treated as an equal. You will be falsely accused of things. If you so much as get into a fender bender with a local citizen of the United Arab Emirates, it is well known that you will face jail time, even if it's not your fault. So this is not a place that you should even really be vacationing in all accounts. And they interviewed the CEO of an organization called Detained in Dubai, which solely exists because of the advocacy for foreign nationals in the UAE, because they need it. This woman's name is Radha Sterling. She runs this organization. She says, we have received a number of complaints from influencers who have been invited to Dubai for performances or events to then be lured into parties where they have been expected to participate in sexual activities. Sex outside of marriage has now been legalized in Dubai, and event organizers have been quick to take advantage of these new relaxed laws. Women need to be aware that they may face confronting and dangerous situations if there is a married man involved. They can be charged with adultery. If you have extramarital sex with a married man in Dubai as a foreign national, you could literally get jailed for this. That's not even scratching the surface of the corruption that covers up crimes committed by citizens in the UAE that are completely overlooked. There isn't so much petty crime or violence taking place in the streets. There's no homeless problem in Dubai, but the crime problems there are well known and documented.
So how do you fix this problem when it comes to people from America or other countries that get led into these situations? How do you even solve this problem? You can't.
Gosh. Okay, it starts at home. You do not raise someone who's okay with selling their ass online, first off. Secondly, if you've already put yourself in that position, you need to understand that Eat, Pray, Love was a fictional account. It was not something you're recommended to do in real life. You're not supposed to vacation in certain places as a Westerner, or especially a woman in general, or a white woman. You need to understand that you are not seen as a human being in certain societies and cultures because of your race and gender. In a place like India, I would just never go there. I would never do that. And especially in a predominantly Muslim country or city like Dubai is, you are seen as lesser than because you are a kafir, you're a non-believer. As a non-Muslim Western white woman who is, by the way, obviously promiscuous and scantily clad, you are not seen as human, and they will see you as fair game for sadistic, vile, sexual degradation and murder. They were attempting to murder her.
It kind of reminds me of this headline, which I think was largely debunked later, but it reminded me of this, of young couple trying to prove human kindness killed by ISIS. I think it was proven later that they weren't on a trip to prove human kindness, but it became a meme.
But it's so true. And I've seen other examples like it, at the very least. Just totally ignorant, oblivious Westerners who show up in these exotic locations and they don't know what they're getting into.
It says there's no evidence the couple was aware of any terrorist threat. or that they chose to travel through ISIS territory to prove their belief in human generosity. For years, the internet claimed that the users that claimed ISIS militants killed an American couple in 2018 while they biked around the world on a trip that they hoped would prove human kindness. So there was never any. That became a headline, I think. It was not true. But the point stands.
Yeah, it does. I think that level of situational awareness and just self-preservation is lost on people these days. Possibly because we're so sheltered and live on the internet.
People who grew up on social media and in the suburbs who aren't aware of just how dangerous the world actually is.
I don't know. This chick is from Ukraine. Shouldn't she know?
You would
living
think.
in a war zone.
I mean, that's different than what I'm talking about with this couple, right?
Yeah,
That's very, very different.
And then some people say that the Dubai porta potty theory, as credible as you want to believe it is or not, is influenced by pornography, and that would include OnlyFans, of course, being the new frontier of pornography. It's kind of the only logical conclusion when you're exposing people to such debaucherous content online. What are they going to do? They're probably going to imitate it and use other human beings, like the girl who almost got murdered in this situation, as sort of just a test subject to it's like a blow-up doll, basically. That's the way she's seen in this, especially in a culture like this. You can definitely blame her, in part, for what has happened here. I don't really care if you want to call that victim blaming. That's,
you're an adult.
Neither
you should
here
have
nor
understood
there.
the responsibility, the risks of what you were doing. Is what you're saying?
I feel like, especially as someone in her line of so-called work, you should understand the dangers that come with it.
It doesn't change the horrific nature of what happened to her, but it calls into question, we as adults have to be responsible for our own actions and have to be very careful when we travel.
Yeah, and once again, one of the worst case scenarios, she probably thought, she can take OnlyFans, blow up on that platform, and then she can use that to elevate herself to the next level. She's trying to connect herself with modeling agents, or who she thought were modeling agents, but weren't.
Yeah, the modeling agent thing should automatically set off alarm bells.
This is total illusion of accessing the American dream or your dream lifestyle or fame and real stardom and real stability and wealth through OnlyFans. This is yet another example of just how delusional that is. And I am overjoyed that she survived, and I cannot wait for her to tell the media what really happened, because clearly the Dubai authorities are lying to Westerners about what happened. You can tell that they are trying desperately to market Dubai as a place for Westerners to move and live on visas, like work visas, to vacation. They're making promotional content that is fed in Western algorithms to make it seem like a very safe place when clearly it is not. It has all the appearances of a clean, safe city, which we don't have, unfortunately, in our country.
Yeah.
But it is a very sheer facade that they have going on there. You don't want to be caught in the wrong situation in a city like that. I wouldn't even step foot there.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.